Neural DSP, probably the best known company out there right now when it comes to guitar plugins and bass plugins. But is it really worth the hype? The constant discussion is going on everywhere that either Neural DSP is way too overpriced for what they bring to the table, or the complete other side of the spectrum, that they're worth the money every time you buy a plugin. I figured since they're doing a Black Friday sale and a lot of people are going to be taking a look at their plugins, I'm putting out this video to give you my unfiltered opinion on what I found out after using Neural DSP for almost 2.5 years now, testing out all the plugins when they come out, giving you my personal opinions on it. Oh, and shout out to Gothic for sponsoring this video. In this video, I'm going to take you to all the presets that I've dialed in over the past 2 years, being it cleans, leads, rhythms, fat djent tones, everything you can imagine and what you're expecting from me. And if you want to test out these presets for yourself and you have the archetype Gojira, which is a plugin that I'll be using for this video, you can download them all for free through the link in the description. Without further ado, let's see if Neural DSP is actually worth the hype. Now, the things that I've found about Neural DSP, not just with the archetype Gojira, but with every plugin that they have, is that they're extremely versatile. Whether you like a good clean tone, a soaring lead, or a hard-hitting rhythm, whatever you like, Neural DSP has got something that you're gonna enjoy. When I tested out all the plugins, I obviously tried all the different functions and all the different capabilities that come with the different plugins. And I have to say that they're definitely not all the same. A lot of people tend to claim that all the high gain plugins that they have sound the same or are exactly the same plugin just with a new skin, but that's not really true. For me, the most versatile plugin so far has always been Archetype Gojira because there's just so many possibilities to get different tones. I'm really happy that I got Archetype Gojira because it does the job for me really well. I have like every tone that I need in this, but I can see it being a problem for musicians that aren't just into metal, that want to get something else, want to get something more specific. Spending $120 on a different plugin just to get one tone seems a bit excessive. One thing that I really like about working with plugins, which is why you'll probably never see a real amplifier head in my studio, is they have so much versatility. Gonna use that word a lot in this video, but there are so many things that you can do with a plugin that you can't do with a physical amp head without having 15 pedals attached to it. Now obviously there's the Kemper and there's X-Effects, but that's basically also plugins. Now I can't spend $2,000 on an X-Effects, so I'll spend $100 on a plugin. That's where the price range from Neural DSP comes in clutch, because it's so much functionality that you're getting for the fraction of a price that you would pay for a real amp head. And some really cool things that you can do with plugins is model your tone into whatever you want. There's also Archetype Rabea, which has a synth modeler in there, and then there's Archetype Tim Henson, which has like the multi-voicer thing. And those are things that you can't do with a regular amp head without attaching like 15 pedals. Check this out, this is pretty cool. Anyone else also a fan of Royal Blood? Things like that. I couldn't do that with an amp head if I was using just the amp. I would need a pedal for that, because so for this preset, for example, I'm using the Octaver that's built in, and then the overdrive pedal and the dirt distortion pedal with the filter that's built in. I have the filter maxed all the way out. But I wouldn't be able to do that with a regular amp head. Same for this noise gate that's built in. If I wanted to have a noise gate on my physical amp, I would have to get a noise gate pedal. And a good noise gate pedal is literally the price of a plugin. Now obviously there's a thing with digital plugins that you need an audio interface to use it, and obviously a PC or a laptop. You don't need any DAW experience or audio experience because you can just use the plugins as a standalone, which I do all the time when I'm on the go. You know, I just put the standalone plugin on my laptop and I write as I go. That's one of the biggest advantages on working with stuff like that. But again, there's a few extra things that you need. Obviously, if you buy an amp head and you buy a cab, you're ready to go. Just plug in the cable, you can play, you can do live shows, whatever. If you want to do live shows, for example, using plugins, you need a DAW, you need the interface, you need the plugin themselves, obviously, a laptop to play it all on. There's pros and cons to both. Load up your DAW, load up your plugin, hit record, and there you go. It's just so much easier for audio production. That's probably where these plugins come in clutch the most. Audio production and writing. I don't want to set up my amp every time I want to write music. I don't want to set up my amp and have to dial the volume to like -50 because otherwise I get a noise complaint, you know, and have to dial in my tone because I'm turning down the volume so now it doesn't sound the same through the cab. And no, I just want to turn on my PC, load in the plugin, hit record, and I'm writing. Let me show you one last tone that I think is really cool that I was able to dial in with this plugin. Basically showing off the versatility of this plugin. It's built off a preset that was in here because the Neural DSP plugins come with a bunch of artist presets. I'm gonna see, I think this one is a preset from Charlie Robbins. Yeah. So Charlie Robbins, if you don't know him, he's like super crazy on the whole flamenco style stuff. He has a preset in here called Creepy Organ and Creepy Wurlitzer. And I took that plugin, made a few tweaks, and I came up with this. This is so cool. hell, I could never do that with a real amp. And that's what I think is really cool about these plugins. So if I was to say, is Neural DSP worth the hype, yes or no? For me personally, yes, 100%. Their tones are captured with super accuracy. It's super easy for anyone with a bit of knowledge to create a good tone. The cool thing is, if you're not down with creating your own tones, every plugin comes with a bunch of crazy good presets that you can use. For example, the Archetype Gojira literally comes with actual Gojira tones. Which is the primal reason why I bought this one. I really love Gojira, and the fact that I can emulate their tones so easy is super fucking dope. Neural DSP, definitely worth the hype. I absolutely love these plugins. I can see where it could be an issue for some to spend so much money on like one plugin. To me, honestly, it's definitely worth the hype and also the money, especially when you look into the specific presets like Archetype Rabia, which literally, as I said, comes with a whole synth modular, which is absolutely insane. Like, if you would have to do that physically with actual equipment, that would cost you way more than 140 bucks. Neural DSP, worth the hype, 100%. Really want to quickly shout out the sponsor for today's video, Gothic. You all know him, you all love him. One-stop shop for all your jewelry, and they're also doing a huge Black Friday sale, getting you to 60% off on certain items. The link is in the description below or in the pinned comment. Make sure to check them out. They support the channel so much, and they are the reason that I can buy plugins like this. Obviously, you guys are too, for supporting the channel with watching the videos, sharing them around. Absolutely love you guys. Let me know if you're picking up a plugin from Neural DSP, and if you're picking up Archetype Gojira, download all of my presets for free through the link in the description below as well. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.